What's going on, everybody? It has been a minute when it comes to publishing a YouTube video. So it's good to be back. It's actually great to be back. We have a lot of things going on between now and the end of the year. A couple announcements. The Patreon members, they don't even know what is about to hit them. I've always said that the Patreon isn't something that should never be considered a lifelong thing, right? This should be something that is temporary. You get what you need, you go out. Now, having said that, we do have Patreon members that have been around for years, and we greatly appreciate it. But let me tell you, once I make this announcement, there are some people that are going to want to go ahead and be Patreon members for life, and I'm not exaggerating. We are in the process of putting together a second YouTube channel. It is non-Lego related, but it is revolving around making money. My wife also expressed interest in being a part of the YouTube channel, so you will probably be seeing her occasionally, and I will give everybody information whenever it is forthcoming. If you don't know by now, everybody, my name is Jim, and welcome to the Wolf for Bricks channel. If you haven't done it already, please go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel. And if you wanted to be extra generous, please go ahead and write thanks in the comments section. It really helps us out, and I would be very appreciative. So we're doing a video today on eBay, right? Well, why are we doing a video on eBay, Jim? I thought you sell on Amazon. Well, we do over at the warehouse. We sell on Amazon. That's right, the warehouse. But I have a lot of Lego sets here that I don't want to say shouldn't be here, but you know, just because we have a warehouse in a non-disclosed location, that doesn't mean that if I don't see a good deal at Target, I'm not going to pick it up. So I have accumulated about 12, I'm looking at them right now, 12 extra large Home Depot boxes, right? And some of the stuff is I'm able to sell, and I do like selling on eBay more than I do for Amazon, just a personal preference, and I am wanting to liquidate as many sets as I can now because I am wanting to gobble up a lot of retiring sets towards the end of this year before they retire. Well, Jim, why aren't you waiting till Q4? Well, there's a reason why I'm not waiting till Q4, and that's something that I've shared with the Patreon members recently, and they were in agreement with my reasoning behind it. But anyway, let's get into it. This is going to be 3 things you need to know if you are going to sell on eBay. Right now, you're looking at eBay.com. This is the back of the house of my eBay account. I started selling Lego sets, you know, I don't want to say here and there, but about 3 weeks ago, I started selling Lego sets on this account. I haven't sold on this account in a while, and I've learned a few things, right? I mean, I haven't really sold this much Lego, and this really isn't much, but I haven't sold this consistently until probably 2018. I want to say, you know, spring of 2019. So it's been a while, and the goal is to get maybe 3,000 or 4,000 in sales so I could go ahead and purchase the Lego sets that are on my hit list. And now that I'm selling on eBay again, even though this might be temporarily, there are 3 things that I was either reminded of or I am just now realizing, and we are going to talk about them right now. The first thing, bundles. Now, this might not be a new concept to you. Some of you out there might be like, well, Jim, I sell bundles all the time. Well, that's great. Whenever, you know, I primarily sell on Amazon, and I am very much against bundles. You do see it occasionally on Amazon, but I'm very much against bundles. So I am always focused on selling the individual sets. And I was even selling just individual sets on eBay back in 2018, right? But I have always talked about when you are a Lego reseller, you need convenience, right? That's why whenever you're prepping for Q4, which is about now, right? And we have those videos in the archives, so feel free to check them out. you want to get all of your stuff done now so it's convenient for you later. And when I mean that, you want to box stuff up now and write, as I've said before, for Eiffel Tower, the small architecture one, just write an ET on the box so you know it's the Eiffel Tower. But the bundles, when we're talking about convenience, and I have this guy right here, this is the Disney GWP, Disney 100 GWP, and I used to have a Steamboat Willie. I think I sold that on Facebook Marketplace or something like that. But this would have been perfect. This would have been a perfect scenario to go ahead and bundle things. And that's what I'm doing right now, and that's what I'm going to do for a while. This right here, the Speed Champions, and this just makes perfect sense, right? Bundling the Speed Champion sets, I don't think I've seen the 8 studs and the 6 studs combined, but I see a lot of 6 studs. I see a lot of 8 studs. You could easily bundle the Fast and the Furious. This looks like 2 different Ferraris right there, which definitely makes sense. But this is good stuff because you could just sell 2 sets at one time, throw it in a box, forget about it, and it's a lot more convenient selling 2 at one time than it is selling 2 at 2 separate times. So this is something, I'm sorry if I'm late to the game, folks. The Wolf for Bricks should have been on it much sooner, but this is something that I've noticed a lot on eBay, and this is something that I'm definitely planning on doing. Now, the thing you want to kind of, when it comes to risk, make sure is if you have these sets right here. Now, in my opinion, that $33 for these 3 Mickey and Friends sets, that is very, very low, right? So this is something, if you were to have these sets and you're like, oh, they're only getting $33, you may want to change your strategy, right? You don't necessarily want to do bundles for everything. And a good example is, the Spatial Discovery retires at the end of the year, right? And I think the year after that, the Mars rover retires. Those are 2 $200 sets, I think. You don't want to bundle those because you're not going to have a lot of buyers. Now, if those sets were $50 each or $75 each, that might be something that you want to consider. But just bundling for the sake of bundling, that is not something that I would recommend. The next thing you may want to do, and if you already sell on eBay, hopefully you already know this. I've talked about this in the past, but if you're new and wanting to sell on eBay, you definitely want to see how many Lego sets are being sold of the same kind. So we're looking at the Saturn V rocket, and yes, I do understand that there are 2 Saturn V rockets. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing minus 1 piece. This is kind of an exception to the rule, but guess what? I'm combining it all together, and when you look right here, whenever it comes to new sets, you have, wow, 338. This is a set that is not cheap. Back whenever I purchased, I think I purchased 80 of the Saturn V rockets the day before they were released for the first time, and I was selling them for, I think I was getting them for $95, and when they retired, I was selling them for $250, right? So there is so much supply right now on eBay. 338, in my opinion, is a lot of supply. So that's something that you want to go ahead and see if there are sets out there that there is just not a lot of supply on eBay. And we're going to talk about a couple of those sets in a few moments. This set right here, the Jeep Wrangler, I know, and I've talked about this set. I don't have as many as what I would have liked because I knew people were just going to buy the crap out of this. And there's 240. Well, the good news is that there is less than the Saturn V rockets, which is a good thing, right? But I think a lot of people may have picked this up Q4 last year when it was $25. So right now the break-even point is around 50 to 55. So yes, you are selling it before fees and all that stuff at 100% ROI, but I kind of look at it as those people being lucky. There is a lot of supply, but it does look like that there is a lot of demand. In my opinion, if there wasn't a lot of supply, this is a set that probably would hit maybe $75 to $80, maybe even a little bit higher around the Q4 time. Now this set right here, the Lego Architecture White House, this set was on my hit list for last year. I didn't have as many as I had US Capitals, and I never put this out there as you need to go out there and get it, with the exception of the Patreons. If everybody knows the history of the US Capitals, I mean, they probably should have known that I was heavy on this set. I purchased $20,000 worth of US Capitals. I easily doubled my money probably in about 10 months, and it was a great experience. Now, when you look at how many are being sold, guess what? Where's it at? We do have 123. Remember, whenever I say boring is good, this is the example. We're coming up on election, potentially civil war. Who knows what's going on? But I am happy that I got the White House architecture set. And let me tell you, my friends over at Patreon, we weren't talking about the White House this month's group chat, but the prior month, I know we were talking about it. Everybody is happy with how this set is doing for them. I think on Amazon it's going for $140, and they picked them up for around $70. So lots and lots of good stuff. There might be some zombie inventory at Barnes & Noble's. Not necessarily zombie inventory, but just sets that are sitting on the shelf, because that's what happens at Barnes & Noble, right? So you have to know what kind of supply is out there on eBay, and that should help determine what kind of sets you're going to purchase. And finally, I've said this before, but it's worth mentioning again. You need to know what sells on eBay and what doesn't sell on eBay. There are some Lego sets out there that sell on Amazon at a much higher rate, right? I know when it comes to Speed Champions, you know, it's not even, but it's very close whenever it comes to that. Now, a long time ago, I did do a Microsoft Excel, and there actually were some retired Speed Champion sets that were selling at a higher price on eBay versus Amazon, but not a lot. But if we're talking about Friends, that's something that if you're only selling on eBay, I probably wouldn't go ahead and pick it up, even though I like Friends sets a lot. That's something that if I was selling on Amazon, I would be more prone to purchasing. So there are a lot of themes out there that just don't do well on eBay, and that's something that you need to investigate as well. So again, 3 things that you needed to know about selling on eBay. I am very excited that I am back on eBay, even though this is just going to be a summer fling, but maybe the time will come where I will be back on eBay permanently. That's it, friends. Hope you enjoyed the video. As always, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Once again, my name is Jim with wolfofbricks.com. Always go out there and get it.